Alrighty. Doc here from North America trying to get organized here. Let's see what we got going on. Heading over to the chat line instamatically. Let's see what we got going on here. And also we need to open up. Let's put that there. We don't have our Chicago quant yet going. We just have J4X, which is fine. It's looking at the Swiss. That's what we always like to do now. Start off. Let's kill that volume. What's going on there? Kill that volume and go on to the next one. There we are. Is that it? No, that's not me. Alrighty. But anyway, we start off with the Swiss franc, which is, as far as I'm concerned, is really insightful. It kind of tells us when the dollar is going down, and it tells us when the dollar is going up. And that's pretty cool. I'm still trying to hunt us down now. Let me see. Trading. Dukascopy webinar. There. No. Where am I? Trading. Still not working. Am I streaming? I am streaming. I can see that I'm streaming. Let's see. Let's try this again. Do I have the right thing plugged in? It looks like I have the right thing plugged in. That's that right there. All right. Now, why is this not streaming? Let's see. Let me try it this way. No, that's not it. 4x. Let's try it one more time. I can't see the chat line, so I can't tell if I'm up there or not. Let me just double check Dukascopy. Let's see, where's it at? We'll be there in a second. I'm checking with Dukascopy to see if we are streaming. Am I streaming? There's the question mark. Now let's see what happens with it. Alrighty, let's get the other thing going too. What is that right there? Let's get, in case you are seeing this and I'm not seeing that you're seeing this. That's the AU up. What in blazes is AU up? Let's see. So go there, and then we'll do this one. There we go. So I can't tell, and I haven't seen a response back. Let's see. Oh yes, am I streaming? Someone did pick up on that. That's good. All right, we'll see what's going on there. And then we will go from there. Anyhow, I'll just keep on talking about the, what am I going to talk about? I'm talking about the Swiss. And if you can see, the Swiss is moving down, so obviously the dollar is moving down. And so we're seeing that. Let's get the Chicago quant going. I'm not seeing a response yet with Dukascopy. And we'll see there in a few seconds. Let's go to the three. There we are. And minimize there. Go to there. Open up Dukascopy day week. Right there. And let's go back to this just real quick. And you can see here the, let's get rid of it. It says that live trading with Doc. It's there, it says. All right, let's try that one more time. I'm trying to get it going here. How do I just close this all together? And clear this up, and maybe then I'll be able to see the chat line. Remove. There we go. Now let's try this again. Don't see me at all. All right. Anyway, I'm waiting for them to say something. And the end result is that is there. Now let's go over to the J4X. Map the J4X. You can see that moving down. You see the white line broke here again. It was interesting, that little hiccup there, and it came down. And let's take a look at it over here. And right there, you see same situation. We did close in a weekly sell. Oh, there's another thing. Let's put that up there too. And let's move this over. Like so. Move that up, out of the way. Like so. There we are. Move this over just a bit. Oop, not that. We want to move this over. Where is it at? Right there. So you can see the bid and offer. 91.02. It's making some good lows in here. We've played with the 90, you can see here, on the Swiss against the dollar. But this time around, it has that look like it really does want to make a bust out. I don't know. It may, well, we'll see. I'm following the numbers. I'm not going to try to guess it. And you can see here, 1 week in a weekly sell and 1 day in a daily sell. So it's, you know, they've rolled over pretty aggressively here. Let's put that in there too. We didn't put the line in there. That was Friday. Oh, wrong place. Remove. There, and I'm not seeing the chat line. I think I'm going to go up on another machine and see if we can find out what's going on there about the chat line. All right, hold on a second. Jumping over to another machine. Let's see. Where are you? Right there. Trading. Dukascopy. Webinar. Not there. All right, let's do this. Now let's do this. Let's go here. We're going to get this rolling one way or the other. Dukascopy. Webinars. There we go. Live. There we go. Yes. I see it. So I'm not sure why the other machine won't do it. But I can see that there, and I can see Ferris. Hey, finally. How long did it take that? 6-7 minutes for me to get in there? Let's see. Morning, afternoon, and night. Morning, afternoon, and night to you, too. I'm glad I can finally see the chat line. Let's see. Today I am really interested in your take on the GBP JPY. Please don't say your famous quote. What was my famous quote? I have a cheaper by the dozen. All right, let's check it out. Cheaper by the dozen. In other words, you only want to ask one question. Okay, you can only ask. Then that's what you do. You ask one question. That's all. You don't have to ask more than one. You're not being forced. I'm just always saying it's, you know, you can ask as many as you like. That's all I'm saying, right there. All right, you can see some pressure there. I think we have that on there too. That's it. 5 weeks in a sell, but we were 12 days in a buy. Look at that. So let's take a look at that. And you can see this thing's been climbing. So why is it trapped like that? Let's see if we can go find out. Sometimes it just does that. It's really weird. It's a strange thing. You know, we don't have much control over the math. It does what it wants to do. You can see, oh, I see. It's trying to get into the weekly buy this week. Finally, I guess what it is it went into the weekly sell here, you know, in this action right there. So that was the week of it, right there. Matter of fact, it's even worse. So it was a real downdraft of a week. Let's go back and look at that week. You can see almost from the beginning of it, without a doubt, on the Wednesday or the Thursday and the Friday, it had slipped on, and wow, 11th, 14th. So on Tuesday, this thing had slid into below the weekly number, and with this wild drive down, and by Friday it confirmed it. And you can see the daily had been, where's the daily? I guess the daily was here. There's the daily. I guess we haven't looked at this thing in a while. So that was the daily. That was the sell right there. Let's see if we can understand this. So it was in this area here. We're back to it now. That's what I'm trying to get clarity of. How much we've gone down. So got into the sell in here, and it fell down to there. And then I guess we played with some, like it went into a buy there. Let's take this apart a little bit. So it went into a buy there. Move that one over. I think we'll go and do this too, like that. There we are. So went into the buy there, and it went back into the sell here. Let's see, what do we got here? Oh, someone shared the video. Okay, good. So it's not me. It's not my fault. I didn't do anything wrong. Let's see. Okay, cool. All good. Thank you. Let me give a thank you. I guess if she's in the next room. I'm yelling, thank you. There you go. All right. So yeah, you can see that, and then I guess it went into the buy here. So it was right there. One over. Right there. So when the buy here near the lows, so it has climbed pretty well, hasn't it? Well, not really, I guess. 130. Okay, so that is like 200 pips. So it's gone up like almost 400 pips since the buy. But we've been trapped in the weekly down here for a while. So, the only way you could trade this is through options with something like this. And there's not many options out there for this product, so it's very hard. You can see here it doesn't look like it's trying to get into a sell, and you can see this thing is fighting on a Monday already just to get into the weekly buy. It's showing life in it. So there's definitely some life trying to come into it. Does that answer all the questions there for the moment? Let's see. Today I am really interested in, okay, and note here by the, I am in long but would like to continue riding it. Well, it's starting to look like you're going to be able to add to that long, because if it backs off a little bit in here and then turns up with that weekly buy, it could be one. This could be, I don't, let's see, what's it, GBP, so it's cable, and it's yen. Huh. I don't know. We kind of interpreted this as something that rallies into elections. I think that's how we interpreted it when we first looked at it, 3 months ago or so. Do you remember that? There was a webinar we did with this. So maybe that's what's going on there. Maybe that's why it's been in a weekly buy for 12 days. And now the weekly is starting to kick in. And you got to figure that overall, this has not exactly been, I guess it's a decent move, definitely a decent move. But you got to figure that, or, we move that over to like that. I mean, pretty much it's been a low. There's no doubt about that. We get this over in this area here like that. Since it went into the daily sell and then the weekly sell that week, it's been down, and no doubt that Trump has, is really taking off in here. And so maybe this is going to follow that trend that we thought was going to occur, and that is that this would go up in value with Trump's strength. So maybe that's what we're looking at here. So, I guess I don't see any reason why you need to get rid of it. That's for sure. If you've already been long it, I mean, you've been gutsy enough to be long it in the just the daily buy. So let's put that in there like so. There's the sell it went into right there. So it went into a sell off of that one, and they slammed it again. So the daily's been very good with this product, and look at the distance between most of them. Very, very few wild ones like that where it drives you crazy. It tries to get in. Did it really get into the buy? I guess it did. It must have been off of that. Then it goes into a sell again, and then it gets into the buy again right there. Let's put that in there too. Right there. So it goes back into the buy on this and catches that ride. So if this is going to hold up, this daily, 12 days so far, over 2+ weeks, now the weekly is joining in, you might get some type of action like this. Maybe a day or two down, and then it might just join right in again and just start to climb. Let's move this one over. Like that. So I think that's the best way to look at it at this point. I think you got to look at it like if it does back off with this here. Let's take a look at it over here too. You can see here we're at the high end of the range, and it may do a little digestion, but it may not really go down too far. I think that's what we're seeing here with the math. I think the math is trying to describe all that. Now it got a little choppy here, but it's still holding up. Now where's the time manifold? Let's fix that. I want to make that time manifold darker. At least more identifiable, that's for sure. Okay, yeah, so it's actually just banging against it. Let's widen this out a little bit. Like that. So, oh, we'll see. Let's watch this each day and we'll see. But overall, it looks pretty good. All right, I hope I answered that. Now, I'm trying to figure out why this machine is not giving me what I want. If I go like this, maybe I would just close it all like that. There we are. And then reopen it again. Because I like to hear the voice to know it's working. But that's all right. We're good. We're good. I can see it on another machine. You're not getting any feedback of sound, I hope, on the other machine. I have the speakers off, so there's a good chance that it's not broadcasting any noise. All right. Let's take a look at, as I take a bite of the apple here, let's take a look at euro. There's a euro. It's acting firm, closing a daily buy on Friday, right there. A lot of ins and outs, out, in, out, in, out, in. What is that? 6 of them? 6 of them. Wow, what a confusion's going on over there. Let's take a look at it on J4X. Right there. I bet the hinkies are all green or something like that. Let's see. Yeah, they're all green. And you can see the white line is through here. So there's strength going on there. You can see we've been totally confused. Our math is totally confused at the moment on this product. And I think we're in a weekly sell, right? Which makes it even worse. Yeah, so we're 4 weeks in a sell, 1 day in a buy. I mean, and you can see that these last bunch of days, it's really gone nowhere. I mean, it really has. So, you know, it's gone up and then sells off. If it goes down, it comes back up. You know, it's been going nowhere. Now, yesterday's move up might be some strength in there. I'll see. See if it keeps on climbing. But that looks like, geez, it looks like a zebra, you know? Let's see. I'm trying to see if I can open up the other machine and hear my voice. Let's see. There I am. And so I can cut this one out. Excellent. That feels better. All right. I don't know if there's much more to be said about the euro. It just is just being relatively sloppy. A lot of stuff is. I noticed natural gas is that way. You see natural gas, it looks like it's crazy. It's up like, I don't know, 20, 30 pips, and you know, it's just going, and it's in a daily and weekly sell. It's doing something really strange there. Let's look at cable. You can see cable is holding on to something here. It went into the buy on Friday also. Right there. I guess we can widen that out. And it is also flirting with the weekly buy. Things seem to be held back or something. I'm not sure what's going on. I guess, you know, I guess the election season is having some effect on these things. I don't know. I just know that I see data come in at times that it wasn't there during the trading day. And I have a reputable data feed. So I'm real confused. And then all of a sudden, more data is in there than the day before. So we're not getting all the trades. Yeah, I don't know what the CFTC is doing today. It's Columbus Day here in the States, so maybe they're on a holiday. All right, so there's the cable. And you can see here, you know, it jumped into the buy on Friday. It seems to be holding up. But that's the real key right there. That weekly buy is really trying to press its way up. And that's right there. 5 weeks in a sell, 1 day in a buy. And you know, that's the same stuff we see with GBP, JPY. When you really look at this, it kind of reminds me of the same thing. Matter of fact, what did it do? Go into a buy? In this case here, I guess it was about the same time, the 28th of September. And let's just take a look at that GBP, JPY one more time. Right there. What's that? That's the 24th. And then 25th, and then 28th. So that went into a buy 2 days ahead of time. And it's really done a good job of holding up, too. which is very impressive. Got very close there. One was plus, one was minus. So it was very close. And you can see the strength kicking in there. So that's that with that. Any other questions out there? What do we have, about 4 or 5 people around this morning? Everybody must be tired from the weekend. So thank God it's Monday. All right, let's take a look at Turkish lira right there. Well, it's flirting with the daily sell. On Friday, they made a new all-time high of 795.74. We keep on thinking we're going to see that 8 handle right there. And you can see the weekly doesn't seem to be really bothered by any of it. They can't even break the manifold at this point for over 2 months. It's been above the manifold, maybe 3 months. Yeah, look at that. It went over the manifold in July, the time manifold. It's been plus ever since. It's not even challenging the manifold. That's the amazing part. I mean, it's one thing to, go up and down, but not even challenge the plus manifold for 3 months since, let's see, July, August, September, and now we're in October. So it's like 3 full months we haven't even been able to challenge the time manifold. It just keeps on climbing. What else can we say about that? Oh, and where's it? Is it? Yeah, it's 45 now. So it's 45 weeks in a buy. 45. We're 7 weeks away from being 52 weeks in a buy. Is that wild or what? I find it to be wild. I mean, I really do. I think that's totally fascinating. All right. Let's see what else. If anybody has any particular product, let us know you'd like to see it. We can take a look at Canadian real quick, and then we'll go to the crude oil area and check that out. You can see Canadian went into a sell back last week. Now it's flirting with the weekly sell. Tried on Friday, but just couldn't get it to go. You can see it moving down. Let's jump over. Let's see. Let's look at NASCAD. Right. Oop, I just saw it. There it is. NASCAD. And you can see that it's been pressured down. Now it's trying to lift in here. At least it's trying. A little down today, but. And then let's go over to crude oil. Let's see what crude oil looks like. Last I saw it, crude was flat to down. Still flat to down. Now it's just down. And we got a red dot here on Friday, and it's a green dot now. I have no idea how. I mean, it just does its own thing. It gets data stored in it and changes its characteristic, and that's why the line was there from Friday. So now today it's confirming it again, but we are stuck in the weekly buy, and this is holding up. So, these numbers are starting to get really strange. I don't know what to blame. Be it the brokerage houses that are not putting all the data in until after the market's closed, or is it a combination of politics and that data problem combined together? But we're seeing this in a few products. You should see. Look at this one. Look at there it is. Look at this. Look at natural gas. I mean, we went into the sell here. Right at the 310 area, and then it breaks down to just the high 90s. You can see the histogram totally broken down. This white line's well underneath the time manifold. This is hugging the line really close, and now maybe with this move, I don't know, it'll start to get this thing to go plus this week. Look at this thing. I mean, it's gone like 29 cents? 19 cents, I'm sorry. 19 cents up. The wrong way. I got red dots. I got it all. It's screaming in the wrong way, So, my math is way off on this. I mean, normally it's very happy. It's giving this profit up. And, but at least you have this profit. And you have this profit. You gotta be a loser somewhere along the line. Now there's an interesting one. We went into a green dot there at the time, and now somehow the data that's come in has shifted that. So just is what it is. We'll go with that right there just to make it look legit. But because now you got the volatility. So basically off this opening area, that first half hour or so with this being strong and this line being up, you can be long here. Now that was barely a win. I mean, it was a little win, nothing major. But the rest of them have made the money. But you can see that it's very rare, very rare to see that type of insanity. We saw this with where was it? Let me go back and show you something. We saw the same issue here with copper. Back here. Remember, we went to the sell here, and we had all these nice wins or sloppy wins. That was a good win there, and that one was just fleeting of one day. This one was fleeting by 2 days. This one was okay, but none of them have been that exciting. This one was kind of interesting, but look at the way the thing's hugging the line, and now it's playing with the sell number. But this was the insanity. It's just as bad as the natural gas is this week. Just going up with all our math pointing down. And so we're seeing it there. We saw it happen here. It was really crazy. I mean, it didn't go too far for a while, but then those last 3 or 4 days, they jacked it. And what was fascinating is it came all the way back down again to let you out, which was very nice of it. And then 2 days later, it went into a buy, which was very nice of it again, So, I don't know. This is, like I said, every so often you see something like this happen. It's rare, but it happens, and that's why we are 8.5 out of 10 times on the plus side, because you get something like this. And it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely weird to watch it happen. So, all right, where were we? Crude oil, right? And I was just showing you some of the insanity we've been going through. Now let's check out gold. Gold's done another one of these things. We were in a daily buy on Friday. Now, why is it, red dot and, fainted down? It just barely made it into the weekly buy, and now it's trying to go back into the sell. Whew. So I guess, as much as we thought the buyers are coming in, we're going to be watching this one really close. Now, we said the same thing about silver, too. Silver, you can see here, they tried to get it into the buy, and it was very failed. And I had a single dot here on Friday. Now I've got a volatility dot. Some of these things are getting really, really weird. I don't know if that means the liquidity, fear, what? I have no idea. But that's the silver. And looks like we were thinking, maybe this thing will turn up this week. But look at this. The first day of the week, they're already trying to figure a way of knocking it down. Hey, Doc, how did you arrange the scales from the indicator CCI stock? Oh, let's go over there on J4X. There we go. And so I'll click on each one of them so you can look at it. So there's the white line that we follow. You can see that. And we'll go with Edit Indicator so you can see that. And so all you're really looking at is the K. Let's see if I can show you color-wise. I know that we controlled the color so that you can only see one thing. Then the dotted one is, let's edit that. This is the slow stoke, and it's a 5-3 also, and that's what that is. Let me see if we can find. There it is right there. And so see how I have this turned off? So it's the slow D, whereas the other one is it is the fast D. Okay, see that there? And so that's how we're doing that, and that's a really good tool. And then this purple one is right there. It's a CCI, which has the characteristics of a stochastic. Because it's half written as a stochastic, the CCI. And you can see here that is just the line itself, and that's a 3 width. And what else we got to say about that? Input 14. I thought we were using 9, but I guess it's 14. Cancel. And so I got to write those down. So that's it there. I mean, did you put them all in one scale or just put them together? I put them all together. So in other words, they're all in the same plot. So let's see what we can do here. So I put them all in one plot. I'm not sure if they're like you can see here when I stretch it out, they're pretty good. They act pretty well. The line kind of gets a little odd there, but I mean, overall, it's pretty healthy. You see where it broke down here, and then we're using the Hinky ASCII right there. Bars, clone indicator, copy indicator, edit, and that's what we done. We planted the Hinky ASCII, and they're on the bars itself, which is kind of interesting. I hope that helped you out there. 47. All right then. I was just waiting there for it. Oh, no problem. Okay, so now, did we look at crude? I think we did, right? Yeah, crude is moving down. Gold is acting wonky. Silver is acting half wonky. That's right. We got silver up there now. You can see it. So you can see here. Um, silver's acting. And look at all these things. What is this all about? I mean, is it telling us, is this all screaming that there's no real clear path at the moment? I mean, 6 days in, out, in, out, in, out, or I guess it's the other way around. Out, in, out, in, out, in. 6 days of that. So, I mean, if this thing would close in a daily buy today, it would be the first time we've seen the thing hold a 2-day trend. It's been, like I said, some of the weirdest action. I don't know what they're following, but it does have the markets all freaked out, that's for sure. It just seems to be consistently freaked out. And the math, you can see it in two different products. Now we're seeing it in gold. Whereas, this we understood. But now I've gotten a volatility dot out of it, out of nowhere. That's why it's good to send the charts out early in the morning just to be able to show you what is going on there. And then you can see here, this actually was showing us in a buy on Friday. Look at this thing. It's not in a buy. So, it closed in a weekly buy, but not a daily buy. It failed that totally. Just horrendously bad. And we don't fudge any numbers around here, so we got to show you what you can see it. You can't fudge them since we show you the numbers live all the time. So there's no way of faking it out. It's still in a sell, and it's climbing. It's like the natural gas. It's in a sell and it's climbing. At least this has joined the weekly buy for the moment, but the thing is underneath it at the moment too. I mean, let's put it this way. Last week it joined the weekly buy by the hair of its chinny chin chin. And this week it's playing with the sell number already. So it's a real dichotomy. Extremely dichotomy situation there. All right. Where do we go from here? We did take a look at these two, too. We looked at the natural gas. That's another one that's going backwards. How many technicians will go show you all his bad predictions? That's funny. Yeah. Oh, yes. You know what? I saw these this morning, too. These things are really fighting. They're really... Now, they couldn't go into a sell because this is plus, but now it's starting to flirt, and the histogram is just 12 ticks. So it's just a plus, but the white line is a minus 130. So it's trying. It could go into a sell there tomorrow. Today, close of today. And then looking at the platinum, which is even more curious in the sense that it's been in a weekly sell from up in here. You can see the daily has been so much more insightful, this. And it went into the sell here. And then what is that all about? Where a couple of days of a sell and then a gap of $39. It's like, what? What is that all about? We are seeing some of the strangest signals occurring. And we do get that towards the end of the year, and I accept that. But I guess with the election, they're treating it like there's going to be 2 Decembers. So I guess that's what it is. I don't know. I just don't know. I have to assume this. I think I've said this last week and the week before. I think the market is interpreting that Trump is going to win, and it's in there. And so we're not going to see when he wins, uh, there might be a nice little pop, and then it may just chill right afterwards. It won't be anywhere near the explosion that happened when he got elected, because I think it's already in the market. I really do. I think it's in there. I think the market is anticipating that he's. I don't care what Bear Stearns says, or not Bear Stearns, Goldman Sachs says, or they come out and make these odd statements. It's like we think that Trump's going to do this. At the same time, there's all kinds of stats that show the total opposite. I think Trump's going to win. I think that's what the markets are trying to tell us, but I don't think it's that excited about the whole fact. I think the markets are going to be okay. Good. All right, now show us after. I think they may be waiting to see what the Congress does. Let's put it this way: if it's a landslide on the election night, the way I think it's going to, and we pick up senators and the House of Representatives, then I think the market will take off. But I think that if it stays the same, and Trump wins, I don't think the markets are going to do much zooming. I think it's already in there. So what I think is not in there is him having, so much uber power. I think he's going to get it. I think it's going to be a triple whammy. I really do. I think he's going to win. I think he's going to get the House. I think he's going to pick up a seat or two in the Senate, if not more. So, I really think that that's what's really going on at this point. All right. Now, where do we go from here? I think we were looking at... What were we looking at here? We're looking at platinum. Strange. And it's moving back down there, too. And... let's see. Let's go to... what else in there? What else do we look at in the... oh, let's look at the stock indices. There's the S&P 500. It's zipping along. We went into, where's it at here? We went into, that's line 27. So we went into a weekly buy and a daily buy. And they are just happy as little clams on that one, aren't they? So they're really reaching for the stock market. Again, I think it's in there. I think there's a lot of positive already in that stock market. So, and you can see here the S&P 500 acting very well. And who knows when, you don't know what internal polls are going on. I mean, you hear them tell me internal polls once in a while, but all you hear is the media. The media doesn't make any sense. There's no way Biden is leading. I mean, he could be close at times in some states, but I can't imagine him leading. I mean, none of that. They have him leading like 14%. That's that spin thing they like to do. This way, as soon as the election's over with, they'll contest it because they'll say the polls showed that we were ahead. It's like, who cares? The polls don't mean anything. Or not their polls. They keep on over-subscribing Democrats and under-subscribing Republicans and independents. So, it doesn't justify. But when you control the media, which the Democrats do, you can say all kinds of stupid things and hope that you trick somebody. I mean, that's all they're trying to do is trick people. Even if they lose, they want to keep on tricking them because they have nothing else better to do. All right, and as you can see there, the S&P is just zipping along. Let's see. Oh, hey, Daniel, how you doing? Oil, not so neutral, but S&P is 35. Is it 35 already? Yeah, 397. What's the high? 35 flat. That's cool. Back in the saddle again. Yeah, another cowboy song I can relate to. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ right there. Same situation happened on Friday on that too. Closed in both of them did. They both closed in weekly sells and weekly buys. What in blazes? So we can get this. Cancel. Let's see if we can do this again. So there they are. So they both closed in weekly buys and daily buys. You can see that, right? Right. Yeah, you can see that. I got it highlighted. 1,200. Let's take a look at that. And there it is right there. The high is 11,956.75. It's heading for the 1,200. You're right. Trading in the 30s right now. And that's that action there. Let's see, what else can we say about this? I guess that's about it. I mean, they're doing that, a lot of products there. A lot of things are showing lots of life. So that is one of them. Let's see, I can close that out. Let me get rid of that. Oh yeah, Tesla is that's the Qs. You can see that. Let's see. There. Let me show you Tesla. Tesla's lifting up, and I know Apple's lifting up too. There's Apple. Apple's trying to get into it. It was in the volatility thing, so it's actually in the buy now, in the daily buy, and the weekly is trying to join in. It missed the weekly by the hair of its chinny chin, and I knew it was probably going to see strength because of it too. And you can see same things happening here. It's trying to get into a buy. This has been in a buy from here on Tesla. So there's a lot of good action going on the stock indices side of it. Let's close that out. And let's see what else we got going on here. And so there's the stock indices. Is there anything else worth looking at in there? There's the Russell. And the Russell, not really rocketing. It rocketed on Friday more, but it's showing a lot of life into it. This thing is heading, I think the 17s is the highs in this thing. So we're trading at 1641, as you can see there. So it's not too bad. This is showing some life. Now I look at this like I look at the old NASDAQ. That's the way I look at that. So it's always interesting to see. And when it joins in, it just tells you how much speculative money is sliding into the marketplace itself. That's what the old NASDAQ used to tell us. Now the NASDAQ is full of Fortune 500s. You know, it's a whole different game. Really crazy high caliber stocks in there now. I mean, it's got the biggest stock in the world, Apple. It's got Amazon in there, which might be the second biggest stock. I don't know. And you got Google and Facebook and Cisco Systems and Intel and Microsoft. I mean, these are the things that make the world go round every day. All right. Let's see. What is next? I don't see anything else jumping out at us, so I guess we can just mosey on along to something else. Oh, there's Bitcoin. Let's see what the Bitcoin. I bet it's plus. Yeah. So it went in the buy here. And so still riding up. Let's see if we have this right. Yeah, so it's supposed to be 2 there, not 1. There we are. And it's 4 weeks in a buy, too, at the same time. Where's our line at for that? Oh, okay, that's the switched October contract. So we need to put that in there. I think this was it right here. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's what it is. So that's where it went into the buy. It's not filling in all the way. Sure, so. But I look at the math itself, and it tells me where it's at. And that was the buy back there. So this thing's holding up pretty well. Or was it that one? Maybe it was this one. Let's see what we got there. Fox News Live. I don't know why I get that. Let's see. All these news things come pouring into my machine. So yeah, that's kind of neat to see the Bitcoin hold up again. And unfortunately, we've talked about this. Unfortunately, the product does not march in its own beat. It seems to join in with the rest of the crowd. Maybe a day earlier sometimes, maybe a day or two later, you know. But it's kind of commingles with the rest of the marketplace, which again, a lot of us were hoping cryptocurrencies would find a whole path by themselves, but that has not happened, and so you know it just makes it a little bit more disappointing because we really were hoping for a very good alternative that would compete. You know, that's what we want. Is we want an alternative that competes with gold. We want a product that competes with the stock markets. You know, wants to see something do its own thing. You know, and we're not really seeing that. The crypto seem to be marching right along with the rest of the gang, and so because they do that, you know, it disappoints me because like I said, I was hoping that they could figure a way of being an alternative, and they're not an alternative. So that's what's got me a little disappointed. You know, it does have me a little disappointed. All right, what do we go after now? that is the Bitcoin. We've looked at the stock indices. Anybody have anything they want to look at in particular? Excuse me. A little cough there. I guess my voice is getting a little dry. Maybe I should drink something. There we are. Well, somebody sees if they have figured out what they would like to see. As we take a sip of some water here. Okay, there's something. Let's take a look at that. We haven't looked at that one in a while. Let's go to J4X first. That's the dollar against the yen. I really have a hard time taking that serious. It's got nothing to me has nothing to do with me liking or not liking the Chinese government. The problem is it's just not a free floating product. And so, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me to even pay attention to. You can see here where it came down from the 685 area down to the 670 area. I just don't. None of that makes a lot of sense. Oh, and you can see it was up in the 7 handle. Wow, even higher. Was it the 720 handle? Yeah. So I mean, it's really tight. I mean, the Turkish lira. If this is moving like this, you would think that the Turkish lira is moving like this. You would think that this thing would be the same way. I have a hard time believing that that it's picking up value against the dollar. I just think that's just the government, since they set a price for it every day. Now, I think we do have it in my work, but I wouldn't be surprised I didn't. And we'll put it in there, of course. But we really don't follow it because, again, it's not a free-floating currency. And because it's not a free-floating currency, it's really tough. I mean, I know everybody could make the case very easily that there is no such thing as free-floating currencies anymore. The central banks have a grasp on all of them, but that's really not true. They have a lot more give and take. There's a lot more commerce affecting them, and I can tell you that the Chinese currency is less than 1% of the world's currency market. And that's what tips me off. I mean, like the U.S. dollar is probably like 25-30%. The Swiss franc is like 22-23%. British pound's probably like in the 10% area, something like that. Yen is probably like around 8%. But China is only under 1%. So that tells us that no one's trading it. I mean, no one's using it. That's the thing. No one is using that thing. Okay, so it says here, some zero hedge news. Yuan slides after China makes it easier to short currency. Signals discomfort with recent CY surge. What surge, though? It's going down, right? So it's becoming more valuable, right? Because if it goes up, it's losing value, right? Okay, let's put it on ours. Let's see. We've been paying attention to that. Let's just make sure we don't have any doubles, but let's do this. Let's go to, there's Euro NZD. What we'll do is we'll put it in there. Let's activate that. And then let's put that instrument in there. And that is USD right there. USD. There it is. This could be entertaining. So it went into the weekly. Let's scrunch this up a little bit and get a flavor of the accuracy of the math. So it went into the sell. You can see here it was in the buy. Goes into a sell there. Goes back into a buy here. You get that nice little jump on it. Goes into the sell here a little early. This is just the weekly. And then goes into the buy there. Goes back into the sell here. And then goes back into the buy there. Yeah, I guess that's there. And now it's flirting with the sell again. That's the weekly. Let's take a look at how it acts on a daily basis. All right. Let's see. So let's widen that out. And let's get rid of that box there. And the buy was right there. Yes, that was the buy. And the sell was right there. So caught that slide. That's cool. But it was in a weekly buy there. So, and there's no options in this thing. And then there is a sell there. Because that's the volatility though. So we got that. So it's really the day afterwards. And then this is moved over to there. This goes in a buy there. And you can't go into a sell because it's got a green dot right there. So it doesn't go into sell until here. Let's see. And then this sell, you can't go into sell there because it's a green dot. I mean, you can't go in. Oh, it is a buy. So it goes into a buy there. And then back the next day into a sell. Let me move this over and put this one in. And then there's a buy. Is that a buy there? The next day it is. So yeah, it's that one right there. And then the sell from here, not too bad. And again, I do remind traders that this product trades less than 1% of world currencies. So that's what makes me not pay attention to it too much. Because it's just that there's no, it's all government. Whereas, the dollar or the cable or the euro or the yen, they're all trading a lot more volume. I mean, 20% of the world volume and 15% of the world volume and 10% of the world volume and 30% of the world volume. So it makes it awful hard to want to take the Chinese yuan serious. Okay, so Daniel says China wants now weak yuan, or at least that's what officially are saying. Yes, I know, but the thing is that let's get rid of that. The thing is that I got to change the color on it. That's what it was. I guess the problem is that when it's going down against the dollar, isn't that making it stronger, not weaker? And then the bigger question is, does anybody really care? That's the worst part. Is that, the government over there can walk around talking about that stuff, but no one's trading the thing globally. When you're less than 1% of world trade and you're the second largest economy, are you really the second largest economy? That's my bigger question, I mean, really, when you think about it that way, isn't that an interesting point of view? You're supposedly the second largest economy in the world and very competitive, but your currency doesn't trade even 1% of the world's volume. So how can you take their currency serious? That's what I'm saying. I can't take it serious because of that problem. If they traded 10% of the world volume or 15%, I'd be like, oh, wow, they got something going on there, But they don't. Let's see. China didn't really like that dollar yuan went from 7 to 6.7. They might want to it back up to 7.0. Is there anything about exports benefiting? Not really. I know exports benefit from a weak currency at home. Yeah, I mean that's usually it because it's cheaper to buy their product. So you can when their currency is weak, you can go in and buy. You get 10 widgets instead of 8 widgets when you're buying from them. But something's wrong about that whole economy. If they're really, imagine this. Imagine if the currency went to, say, 12. Then would they still be the second largest economy in the world? Wouldn't they be like maybe the third? Could they be challenging Germany for the fourth? You know what I mean? When you have a currency that really doesn't reflect any success of what you're supposedly claiming you have, it really makes it harder. I know exports benefit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see any thing that would tell me that the only thing it tells me is that when your currency is not even trading 1% of the world economy, then something else is going on. Okay, so I mean, you have to go. Okay, so they're taking dollars instead of their own currency. Why won't they take their own currency for their commodities? The products they manufacture. Why they? In other words, who's probably hurting the Chinese yuan more than anybody else? The Chinese. That's how I identify. I know it's a strange thing, and I know I'm a Trumper, but I'm not looking at the currency with political vision. I'm looking at it in fundamentals, and that is, it just doesn't seem to be doing anything. So, all right, if they're second largest the second largest economy in the world, and they're exporting, one of the biggest exporters in the world, and no one's buying the yuan, are they scared of the yuan? Yeah, that's right. That's what it is. That's what bothers me. So that the yuan volume is only with offshore and on forex, and nobody in their own country wants their currency. That's what I've said this for a couple of years now. It drives me crazy. I don't know how, and I keep on saying, look at, here, let's go look at the ruble, right? Ruble's gone from, went through this whole thing, from like 5 or 6 and 4, all the way up to, it's like 75 now, and it's more geopolitics than anything else. Let's see, where are you, ruble? Where'd you go? There it is, right there. All right, so ruble's trading at 77. Okay, and so I mean, I think they have like, I don't know, 3 or 4% of the market, 5% of the market. People buy rubles to trade. So I mean, people buy rubles to buy products in Russia, and the currency is getting beat up because of the geopolitics. I mean, all that geopolitics stuff that goes on with them. And you got to assume that that's going to dry up sooner or later, and that currency is going to be back down into the 40s. Maybe they keep the ruble weak. Maybe they want it to be weak, to try to increase their exports. I mean, that would make sense, and they do seem to be that aggressive. So I don't know. I just really have a hard time understanding the yuan. The yuan to me is it's a facade. It really looks like a facade. Let's see. Dollar yuan fell down because of the narrative that the Democrat controlled China. That the Democrat controlled China. Democrat? Are you saying that the Democrats are socialists and communists? Okay. Biden might win the election, though I expect the results of the election would be otherwise. Right. Yeah, I hear you. I'm just disturbed over the years. It's been years now that no one wants to buy products in China with the yuan. They want to use other currencies. I mean, what's that say about the government there that they don't even trust their own currency? I don't know. All right. Anyway, this is Doc from North America. We will catch you guys tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Happy trails to you until we meet again. That's tomorrow, of course. Happy trails to you, to all my trading friends.